Hello everyone, today we are going to do predictions for WWE Night of Champions, which will be held on June 27th, 2026 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I'm your host, Chris Cortez. This is Chris's Chaos. We're going to get right into this thing, keep it short and sweet, talk about these 6 matches that will take place, and get right into it. I didn't do any reviews for this past week's Raw and SmackDown because, quite frankly, the Raw wasn't that great. As I told you in my last video, we got new WWE World Tag Team Championships, which honestly kind of fell flat. And I already have the results for SmackDown. That's probably going to be airing in a couple hours. At its regular time at 8 o'clock, but it doesn't matter because we know what already happened. So I'll take that into consideration. I'm going to be thinking about what WWE tends to do in terms of playing the safe bet, maybe trying to troll us a little bit, and think about what I think should be done versus what most likely will happen. So we'll take all these factors into consideration. Let's get right into it. Now, it's my understanding that the first match will be Oba Femi versus Jey Uso, the King of the Ring final. Seeing as how the first hour should take place not only on Netflix, but also on ESPN. I have seen in the past that ESPN likes to choose the hour that they decide to, showcase on their channel. So it could be in the middle of the program, but so far from what I have heard, it's going to take place in the beginning. I could be wrong. It could be the second to last match, but whatever. Let's get into it. Jey Uso versus Oba Femi. 2 things can happen. An interference from Brock Lesnar, or now with the disbanding of the MFTs, which is going to happen tonight on SmackDown, Solo's going to be pissed. Okay, he's going to be looking to lash out at someone. And my guess is he's going to lash out at Jey Uso. So I think that to keep up with the theme of this King and Queen of the Ring tournaments, there will be some major interference in this match. I think both from Brock Lesnar and Solo Sikoa. And in the end, it's the right thing for Oba Femi to win this match. It's more likely the safe bet that Jey Uso will win. And what a lot of people are saying is that Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi can take place at SummerSlam, night 1. Then lead up to night 2, have Oba Femi take on the WWE Champion or the World Champion, whichever he decides to choose. It would make sense, but that's probably not going to happen. So at the same time, you have to consider that they could have a match in Madison Square Garden SummerSlam before SummerSlam, which will be on July 18th. So that can happen as well. That would make some sense. Now the other thing to consider is, where does Brock Lesnar fit in all this? The safe bet is that it's going to be Oba versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. The other option is that it's going to be Lesnar versus Gunther. He plays such a key role in determining what's going to happen with Oba Femi tomorrow night that you have to take all those things into consideration. What I'd like to see is not necessarily going to happen. So just safe bet is that Jey Uso will win this thing. We'll walk out and we'll make it to face either Gunther or Sami Zayn. That is what I'm thinking is going to happen. That being said, the main event, Cody Rhodes, I'm just going to go right into it. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn. I think the right thing would be for Sami Zayn to win. What I want is Gunther to go all the way, win the WWE Championship, and then go on to SummerSlam and retain against someone like a Jey Uso. The rematch would make sense at this point. Nobody wants to really see it. I get it. But at the same time, I think they're gonna do that. They're gonna have a rematch between Gunther and Jey Uso. Only this time, Gunther wins. He retains. And that will happen at SummerSlam. That's what I'm going with this. Of course, Cody Rhodes could retain. And we could see Cody Rhodes take on someone like a Jey Uso. Again, do we really need to see it? But yeah, I'm going with Gunther. Going with Gunther to win this match. At the end of SmackDown, based on what I'm understanding, Sami Zayn and Cody really got into it, but Gunther's kind of the dark horse in all this. And, a lot of people are expecting Zayn to win or Cody to retain, but I'm thinking it's now Gunther's time to hold the WWE Championship. That's just where I'm going with it. So that's my prediction on that. Let's talk about IYO SKY versus Liv Morgan, another one where there will most likely be interruption or interference from Raquel Rodriguez or Roxanne Perez. It's so ridiculous, this Queen of the Ring tournament. I honestly think the right thing is for Liv Morgan to win this. Why? Because she's the women's world champion. If she loses this, she should hand over the title to IYO SKY, which is why I think Liv Morgan should actually win it. But knowing WWE and they don't really care about making sense, I think IYO SKY will win this. There will be a dispute between Liv Morgan and Raquel and Roxanne, which will lead up to a match between Liv and either Roxanne or Raquel at SummerSlam. And they will disregard completely the fact that IYO SKY pinned or defeated the Women's World champion. And then she'll go on, IYO SKY, that is, to face, I would hope, a Rhea Ripley. Because, if I'm hoping that she's not completely just injured and taken off the roster. And that could set up a whole number of things that we can't even really talk about right now. But what would make sense is that IYO, if she wins, the next logical step would be that IYO goes on to face Rhea Ripley at SummerSlam. They are best friends. They'll make better enemies. They'll look incredible in the ring, fighting each other. They'll put on a hell of a match. It would make for a compelling story build, and it would be a hell of a match in the ring. So it's the right thing to do if you go with IYO. But again, I think it should be Liv versus whoever is the champion. At this point, Liv should just go on and win. It never made sense for her to be in this tournament in the first place, but now it's kind of like you kind of have to go with her, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. You have the WWE United States Championship, Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints. Pretty easy prediction. I'm going with Ricky Saints to lose. I could watch them completely troll me and have Ricky Saints walk away with the title, but no, it's just going to be a Trick Williams successful defense. Got Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill. Now, WWE is very hot on Jade Cargill, so I could see them give the strap to Jade Cargill. However, what has Tiffany Stratton even done with the title? Not much. It would not make sense for her to lose this match. Maybe it could end in a no contest at best. Maybe perhaps Rhea Ripley gets involved, and Charlotte, because Jade Cargill took out both of them. So I'm going to go with Tiffany Stratton. But I wouldn't be surprised if Jade Cargill wins, just because WWE's so pressed for her. And I hope they put on a good match. I hope they have good chemistry. But yeah, thinking Tiffany retains. And then the match I'm very much looking forward to. Hopefully it will be, I don't know how brutal they can get in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. If they can, gig, and draw some blood. But Seth Rollins versus Bron Breakker, steel cage match. At this point, it's part 3 of the trilogy between these two. Both have a win. So the right thing to do is to give the win to Bron Breakker. I'm going with Bron Breakker. It's what I think makes sense, and it's what I want. But then again, WWE, what do they like to do? After someone's been pushed so hard and they're white hot, what do? They pull the carpet from under us and they give the win to the seasoned veteran, so to speak. In this case, Seth Rollins. And I'm not saying Rollins is, past his prime, or he's not, he's kind of one of the old timers or anything like that. But he's the seasoned veteran in this case between these two. And they like to give victories to the seasoned veterans for some reason, when it doesn't make sense. They used to take so many more risks back in the late 80s, early 90s, and of course in the Attitude Era. Definitely they took a risk with The Rock, a good risk. I honestly was expecting back then that The Rock wasn't going to win the WWE title for at least another 6 months to a year, but they just hit that title right on him and pushed him to the moon. That's what people want for Oba Femi right now. They want Oba to just win, move on to SummerSlam, and win the title. And just start. I'm telling you, I don't see him winning any type of world championship until WrestleMania. And that's that. So. And I'm very happy to hear about the MFTs disbanding. And as a result, I think we'll see Solo Sikoa in the King of the Ring final match getting involved. I've heard apparently Finn Balor was talking to the MFTs. They could, again, the MFTs, Tama Tonga and Tala Tonga. Tama Tonga was originally part of the Bullet Club, one of the older members. Ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. Let's bring back Tongaloa already, okay? And who knows who might show back up. Hey, that's it. That's my predictions for Night of Champions, okay? I probably won't give a review video. If I do, it'll be a quick one to provide my thoughts on the matter, or perhaps and include some predictions as to what's going to happen the next night on Raw. But it is going to hit something like 102 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit here in Germany. I don't know what else to say. It's going to be as hot as all hell. We're going to be breaking records here in Deutschland. So yeah, just trying to stay cool. All right. Maybe play a little Path of Exile, pop some popcorn, enjoy the show, Night of Champions. On that note, hit that like or subscribe button at Channel Cortez 33, Instagram, Twitter, X. You know the rest. Have a good night.